don't talk about, oh, us, we got to bring black people in. Oh, we're people of color. Latinos don't say that. When was the last time you saw a Mexican crew that had 2 or 3 black people in it working? No. That people of color nonsense until we get
Jamaicans, Africans, and either.
Jamaicans, get our act together, and Africans too, yeah. But until we get our act together, let's talk about us.
There you go.
Well,
activist blue.
What you say?
No, I'll ask Mr.
Black
James.
people that have a foundation here, that have a true foundation, who have been here, who have built this country and made it into what it is. None of these other people. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by black people, some of whom were brought here under protest and under gun, I should say, not protest, under gun, and those that were already here who got assimilated somehow or another. Let's remember, black Africans were here way before Columbus was a twinkle in his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's eye.
I mean, Columbus thought he was in India. That's why he said India.
No. He thought he was in India, but he said
not India, the West Indies, Mr. James.
I'm sorry, what?
He thought he was in the West Indies.
Yeah, that's what he thought. But he said in his diaries, these are African people.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who wrote in diaries says the exact same thing. So I say unto you, I hate that term, people of color, because it's only us, foundational black Americans, who use it.
And they try to put everybody together.
Don't give a damn about us who built this country off my grandmother, my great-grandmother, all of them died without seeing the benefits. And I'm not 20 years old anymore. And I'll be damned if I die without putting up a fight.
All right, my producer and engineer said we have to go to the next topic, Miss Activist Blue. We're going to the next topic. Okay, now, Sawyer, go ahead and show that picture of the, there you go. Will y'all take a look at this? I want y'all to simply take a look at this. Kamala Harris is paying, her campaign is paying people to call people, text them, and get them to vote for her. Can you make it a little larger, engineer? If not, don't worry about it. Just going up. This is the real deal. Paying $200 per person to do this. Okay, Mr. Samuel Blue, what? Isn't that a desperate measure to you?
Well, we are talking about politics, and we have this thing called in politics, it's called the October surprise. And anything can happen, scandals, something come out the closet. But I personally feel, being here in North Carolina, that Kamala's people just pulled all her ad funding, like the last $2 million to dedicate it to Virginia.
No, it's $11.5 million now. Go ahead.
Well, I know they're pulling all TV ad, funding to reallocate it to Virginia because it's starting to look worse in Virginia. But I think, it's one of those things that I think I've never seen Trump's people posting anything like that. But if you raise almost $1 billion, I would be, why not? If it'll get them to promote me, to talk about me, they're paying all these TikTok stars, bringing in this younger generation. They're paying them $15,000, $20,000 and all this. Like, why not? Like, I don't hate anybody getting their bag, but I just think that what I personally see, I see a lot of desperation. The goal of any election is messaging, because Democrats aren't going to win this election. Republicans aren't going to win this election. The ones who are going to win this election are unaffiliated and independent voters. So I tell people, whoever becomes president, whether Kamala or Trump, is whoever had the better messaging to these independents. So when I listen to a speech, I listen to a press conference or interview, I'm looking at it as an unaffiliated voter. Are you reaching me? You growing up in middle class don't reach me. Your daddy giving you $400 million or $100 million for a loan, or you own the Trump Hotel or the Mar-a-Lago, that don't reach me. What reaches me is you saying that you're going to, how are you going to reduce my bills that I'm so accustomed to paying less 4 years ago? And that's who is going to win the election. And I just don't see her team. And I said before why I feel is bad, because she has a skeleton crew of Obama's folks who want their agenda, Biden's folks who want his. So I think the message has been poor. You know, I don't blame her. You know, she's a successful woman, but I'm one of those people also. I don't look at the color of your skin. You know, I'm retired military. All I saw was camo. As long as you have my 6, green, I got your 6. My father was retired military. We grew up in diversity. So I just tell people, like, with me, I'm not voting for somebody to invite to the cookout. I don't care if I like you or not. I can care less. I'm voting for who's going to help my son, my grandkids, those policies there. If I don't vote, you know, on the ballot, I don't vote. When I voted yesterday, I didn't vote for everybody. So I just tell people, like, at least do your local. You don't have to vote for the president, but at least do your local. But I'll close with this. There's a reason in this messaging that now is gone from 2016, 3% of black men supporting Trump. 2020, 6% of black men supports Trump. Now, 24% of black men.
24%, right.
So that message is getting there. You know, it's not me, it's the numbers that they're showing. You know, so I just think it's messaging, you know, but I don't blame her for spending that money. They raised over $1 billion.
Yeah, right. But you know what I want to say too? I want to say also too that for me personally, I don't give a fat baby's ass who get in there. They're not going to dictate the quality of my life. Period. I also want to say that those are desperate measures. I mean, if you got to pay somebody for their vote, I don't give a damn what color, whether you're a woman or what color you are. If you're capable of doing the job, yes, of course, I'm not voting for you, but of course, yeah, get her done. Who has a burning desire right now?
Well, I definitely agree with Mr. Blue that it is desperate, but I don't blame her for going ahead and doing that. She's raised the money. She's reaching the people she needs to reach. And she is an accomplished woman. But with Trump, his message is resonating with me. I'm not for Trump as far as who he is, but personally, when it comes to policies and all that, yeah, I'm most likely going to lean towards him. But I probably still will not vote. I did not vote last year. But I'll definitely vote for my local, because I do see that I need to do that for me and my son. This whole election in itself has just been hilarious, but it's made me open up my eyes to paying more attention to what people say instead of the feelings or the colors and things like that. Oh, they're brown, or oh, he was raised with a silver spoon, and she's middle class, or however the case may be. They're running off of emotions and feelings. So hopefully it's helped a lot of people open their eyes to what are they going to actually do for you and your children and your household. How are they going to help you? If it's not helping you, if it's not doing anything for you. What?
Yeah, the bottom line to me also is experience. What Okay, let me put it this way. What I experienced under the Trump administration, like I said, I ain't on his jockstrap. But what I experienced from the Trump administration is prosperity across the board. Whether he inherited from Obama, Obama didn't have enough time. Well, he had 8 years. Obama didn't actually do what Trump is doing. Okay, let me tell you something about this here. Obama, don't forget now, it's a shitload of veterans. Obama took $200 from every veteran for 8 years. Do the math. That's $23,400 from every veteran and gave it to the alphabet community. So I really don't even want to talk about Trump. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I don't want to talk about nobody. Everybody is imperfect human beings. Me personally, I'm not going to choose an imperfect human being to lead me. Mr. James, you got anything to add to that, bro?
Well, you know, Keon said something. God, I can't remember. Well, I was going to comment on it, and it was I was.
Oh, the question was about her paying people to go and get other people to vote.
Well,
right.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that goes on all the time on everybody's campaign. You pay campaign canvassers, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just, to me, it's like to raise $1 billion. She didn't. As a matter of fact, one of the things I was going to say, she didn't raise it. The party raised it and threw it at her.
BINGO.
But it's like that goes on all the time. Trump is doing the same thing, I would imagine, paying canvassers. But you don't think so, Sam?
No, what I think what the ad he posted was somebody like me or you registering.
Right.
And we spread the word, and each one in our family we spread it to. When they fill it out, they put us in that they got it from us, and we begin to collect money up to $200.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, that's
so it's not canvases. They're actually paying like family members. Like I don't hate that. You know, hey.
Yeah, but it's like why do you need $1 billion? I mean, that money could be going to, helping mothers and feeding children and helping homeless people. I mean, California, it's ridiculous. I drove back to California this past weekend because I had some things to do, and to see the people, the tent cities, and yet you can spend $1 billion telling me about how you were middle class.
Middle class, right? We tired of hearing it.
I get it. I truly get it. But there's certain things I don't get. So
and then
I didn't understand that's what it was, Sam. I didn't understand it was saying.
And then why do you need all of these celebrities? If you need all of that, that's proof in the pudding that you're not capable. If you need that, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Lloyd Paul, you got a rebuttal for anything any one of these other panelists said?
Well, you're definitely wrong on the phone calls when it comes to, that's a campaign strategy that's been done since Shirley Chisholm and before. You have a campaign finance budget and people get on the phones. That's what they do. They get paid to call people to get out and go vote. So that's nothing negative. That's nothing conspiratory. That's a regulatory thing that they do. Obama campaign done it. Trump campaign has done it. It was a few other things, man. There was just a lot of talking going on. So, by the time you got to me, I done forgot 90% of the shit I want to rebuttal on. But what I do want to touch on is, I just want to say something to Kiana in retrospect to her voting stance. You vote for who you vote for. That's your prerogative. But when you don't vote, you leave people, whether it's our community, whatever, depending on who the candidate you're voting for, in a bad position. You say you want to vote for Trump, you're leaning towards him or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm not trying to be facetious and nothing like that. It's just a real question. because of his policies, right? If your son is, how old is your son?
He's 5.
He's 5. If Trump gets elected, and let's say your son is about a little older now, and God forbid you get pulled over by the police, and they do something to your son, and they don't be held accountable for it, there's nothing you can do. Just go home and suck it up. If, God forbid, and I say God forbid, you got a baby you don't want, you can't go get rid of it.
That's not true neither, because that's only.
Why do you do that, yo? Don't
because first of all, I do this because I'm the moderator, the host, and whatever else needs to be done on the show.
Crazy,
that's why I do it. Hold on a second. I do this because
I didn't cut you off. Why you?
No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm not cutting you off. You asked the question. You asked the question, and I'm answering.
So why you cutting me off, man?
Go ahead.
I asked you that because of Roe v. Wade. You can no longer go get an abortion. A life-saving situation that can, save you. And whatever else. There's a lot of other things that this man is not for black people at all. So I'm not trying to sway your vote how you want. Just take them things into consideration when you're voting for a man who doesn't care about women, black people, or anybody else. And that's all. That's all I'm really saying to you. Now, Fitz, I'm gonna say something to you, Fitz, and then I'm gonna jump off.
You said you had a question, and as far as with my son and me being pulled over, I'm a law-abiding citizen and I'm licensed to carry. Also, I'm working on my suretyship, so they shouldn't even have to worry about my son. My son is very well protected spiritually and physically. So that's
I'm talking about the immunity clause in Project 2025. Immunity. Where police can get away with it.
I teach my son very, very well on how to communicate effectively so that he can avoid situations like that. And that's something that young children of color should be taught as well, how to handle themselves in high stress situations and how to get out of those situations. And then as far as being a woman that, the potential of rape things, as a woman, you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But of course, there are situations where you get ran up on. But being me, I'm aware of my situation at all times. I always like to know where my exits are. So just being a very conscious or aware person.
So what if you're being stalked, right? And I'm just saying, what if you've been stalked for a week, 2 weeks, a month? Somebody know your every move, know what side you keep your on. They know everything about you, and they grab you up, and they rape. I'm just being real. I'm not throwing out bull.
No, I thought we was talking about Roe. I thought we was talking about Roe versus Wade.
In retrospect to your son, Sandra Bland was a law-abiding citizen. Eric Garner was just selling cigarettes, man. Well, I mean, what did George Floyd do?
Respectfully, I understand where you're going with this.
Yes, in other words,
right. That's what I want to know.
You don't have to be doing nothing to get your head blown off and get killed.
That's a fact, and you don't have to do anything to have that situation. But if, like I said, you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Oh man,
if you know I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah, you're not. I'm good.
All right. Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, Trump did not say none of that junk. He left it up to the states. Not that you can't do this, do that. He left it up to the states. That is not federal. See, that's what I'm talking about, the far left. They try to blame everything on Trump, okay? What? Okay, if we want to go there and do it like that, how would you feel about drag queens reading fairy tales to your children in school? That comes from her side. We done discussed that already before. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So it weighs out both ways. Both of them are freaking clowns. Mr. James?
Both of them are clowns.
Mr. James and then Blue.
Yo, Fitz, it's called Roe v. Wade, bro. I'm sorry, Mr. James. It's called
Roe v. Wade. Roe v. versus Wade is determined by the states, not
no, it's
federal.
not, bro. It's determined by the Supreme Court. You don't know your
Okay.
stuff, bro.
Okay, Mr. James. Mr. James, go ahead, Mr. James.
Well, I was just going to say, because I listened to Keanu and I listened to Michael, and I know it was a little bit off the topic, but it is very important. And I understand because we've never been under the protection of the United States. We've all been victims of the United States.
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
And Keanu, it doesn't matter whether you teach your son, because we've always taught our children how to handle themselves. But catch that jackass, that little redneck bastard on the wrong day. And it doesn't matter because they are under color. They have the authority. And I am very concerned with that. And it's not Trump who is starting this. That shit has gone back since 1776. So let me just say real quick. Trump is not my boogeyman. The guy next door is my boogeyman.
Hey, man, our own people.
No. I don't live with people right now. I'm talking about these white folks that is in this neighborhood where I live. Trust and believe, I live here because I'm tired of the nonsense. I wish Keanu could come out here and live. I wish Sam could come over here and live. I wish Michael could come over here and live next door to me. I wish Fitz could come over here and live next door to me. I want to be around my people. But all I'm saying is Trump is not my boogeyman. And maybe some of this crap, when it comes to a head, it will make all of us come together and say, okay, that's the end of this. We must be together. Just like 60 years ago, when we were living in our own neighborhoods, and I never saw white people growing up in Chicago, except the nuns, and I went to Catholic school. I saw the insurance guy who came once a month. And until we went downtown, my grandparents went downtown, I never saw white people. We had plumbers, we had electricians, you name it. We were sustained by ourselves. And maybe one of these days, if this shit keeps going on and on and on, we're going to get back to that.
It's coming soon.
I'm going to be able to throw my arms around Keanu, living next door, and say, baby, welcome home.
Okay. With that being said, Mr. Blue, we're going to close out and have you give your opinion and your thoughts. I think everybody else had a chance. I want to keep it fair and equal. Mr. Blue, what are your thoughts on the solicitation of votes?
In the Army, we had this saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And,
wow.
You know, when you get caught, you know, you deal with the repercussions. I think anything is based off of opportunity. You know, you can have somebody honest, Abe. You put them at a bank where they're counting hundreds of thousands of dollars of money a day. They start glancing around and they see, okay, they don't have no camera in here. You know, most things that are wrong come from opportunity. You know, and some people don't have the discipline. You know, some people do. So I think, again, as I said earlier, as far as soliciting votes, I mean, anytime we have a conversation with someone, well, you know, I was in Puerto Rico this weekend. You know, I just flew back today. I was there for a week, you know, after Miami. And it's like, what I hear here, especially from the black community, for the last 2 days, we almost missed our flight out of Puerto Rico because they shut down Highway 26, which is the only way to get to the airport, a dang on Trump convoy of Puerto Ricans. Because they're saying that that comedian, he brought awareness to them not having a recycle system. Like our house in Puerto Rico, we've had for 4 years. I paid a guy $50 a week to pick the trash up. I pay him an extra $25 to take it to his farm and burn it. Because if I pay him just $50, he's going to take my trash and throw it on the side of the road. because all the landfills are full. There's only like 26, 27. So I've lived there. My wife is half her dad is Puerto Rican. Like the Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, they, especially the ones that know that guy, Tony, they know he's a roaster. All he does is insult.
He roasts everybody. Everybody.
But let me close with this. I just wish that black folks, why are we offended with something done to Asians? Why are we offended with something done to Puerto Ricans? Why are we offended when somebody's done? We're offended with everybody else stuff except our own conditions. If we had the same passion, let's remove the politics. If we had the same passion every year that we have to what these politicians are trying to convince us to hate on this or be upset or get all flustered over whatever, if we put that same energy in our community, we would go back to the village because the village is gone. The village ended when I tried to discipline a young man for messing up and his mother come out saying, don't talk to my child. So we have to get back to that. We're so offended with everybody else but our own houses. And when I say our own house, I'm talking about black folks as a community because my neighbor is from South India and them jokers stay shut. They only sell houses to other South Indians. So we black folks, we need to stop buying European stuff, German, and investing in our own community. But we have to empower ourselves. These politicians got us thinking that a politician is going to do it, but black folks is the only one relying on a politician. Asians don't rely on them. South Indians, East Indians don't rely. Nigerians don't rely. And we're dead last in wealth. We were dead last in 1972. In 2024, we still dead last. But the people that was only 3% of the population, Mexicans back in 1972, less than 3%, now they're 38% of the population. And they're number 9 on the list.
Wow.
White people is number 7.
Wrap it up, Sam.
Number 1 are Indians. But what do? They invest in their own community. They have their village like us black folks used to have. So we need to start looking instead of hating, put the same energy into our stuff. And I think once we start doing that, we won't need no politicians. They'll start fighting again. They'll start fighting again for the black vote. Right now, some of them are getting it for free. So they're not going to do nothing.
Just on the basis of making history or the first black woman or none of that. None of that matters to me. Mr. James, after this, we have to go to the next topic, and then we're going to have closing arguments from everybody.
I was just, Fitz, isn't that what I was just saying? because it is true. That's exactly what I was talking about. We had our own communities until 60 years ago. And then we started everybody else but us. So 100%, I'm agreeing with you, Sam, 100%, because I just said it, and I'm glad 2 of us are saying it. Now maybe next week it'll be 3 or 4 of us saying it.
Oh no, it's way more than that. It's way more than that, Mr. James.
I know, Kiana. Yeah. I know. But I'm just saying, I know you do. And I know Fitz does. But we have to multiply everything exponentially. It will get better. We have to believe it. And I believe in all of you. I really do. I believe in you. And I believe you can do it. We can do it. I can do it. I believe that. And I'm not one of them people who say, black folks, man, see, that's why we can't do it. No, shut up. Talk about what we can't do. I'm sick of you people.
And Mr. James, this is the bottom line for me is, how can any person, human being, put faith, trust, hope, and believe in any other imperfect human being, whether it be Trump, Kamala Harris, any other human being. I don't trust none of them. None of them. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna have political strategist and activist Mr. Blue, because I am dumbfounded. What does each and every person's vote matter if all you have to do is get 270 points, electoral college points, to win? So to me, it makes me feel like a vote don't even fucking matter. Mr. Blue, you did the research and we done the fact check earlier in the day. Go ahead and explain what the electoral college vote points mean, and does our vote really count?
Okay. The Electoral College basically was created that every person would have a voice. So let's say, for example, if the U.S. just went by the popular vote, politicians would only solicit California, New York, Florida, and Texas, because 3 of those states, and some of them too, have more population than the rest of the country. So that's why they chose all the way back in the 1700s to go with the Electoral College, because the Electoral College is 538 electoral votes. Because if you divide it by 2, you'll have 268 and then 270. So it can never be a tie. So that's why they came up with that. But what they did was they implemented the census or a way of counting people. And that was the issue with slaves. Them slave owners, they wanted their slaves counted so they can get more electoral votes, but then they didn't want their slaves to have the power to vote. They wanted their cake and to eat it too. So basically, California, I think, has 52 votes. They lost 2. Texas gained 2. New York lost 2. Florida gained 2. So basically, the Electoral College, in short, is to get the politicians to reach out to everyone, because nobody would go to Iowa, nobody would go to Kansas, nobody would go, so
Wisconsin.
That's how they get them to speak to them. Now, where you ask the question, does your vote count? It does count, because Electoral College votes depend on who wins the popular vote in that individual state. So if Kamala wins Florida, the popular vote, she's going to get all of Florida's, she's going to get all of their votes. So the Electoral College, it was the compromise, because one side wanted to make sure every voice was heard, and the other side was like, well, we want a little power too. So that's why California and New York has so many votes, because of their population.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that insightful message. Okay, now we're going to do our closing arguments on everything. And I'm going to start with Lord Paul, then I'm going to Kiana, then I'm going to James, and I'm going back to you, Blue. Now, the closing argument has to be 1 minute only, because we're going over the YouTube specified time for us to edit. Okay, Mr. Lord Paul.
Yo, you can come back to me last, but just Sam is right. And just to add to that, the popular vote, Hillary Clinton won by like 3 million votes in 2016, and she lost the electoral because the Electoral College had already made up their minds. They was giving the votes to Trump, but she won the popular vote, but she didn't win the election. So the popular vote is important, but the Electoral College actually decides who the president is. So I just want to add that to it. But I'll go last, man.
All right, Kiana?
Well, I really enjoyed tonight's conversation. It was very insightful, a lot of information that I didn't know that I learned. So, I'm happy that I was able to be on tonight. That's all I have for y'all.
Okay, Mr. James?
I just want to go back to the Electoral College stuff, because it's also, what Sam said is true, but also in addition to that that's why you have 2 senators for each state, and you have the Congress, because they wanted to equalize it. But at the same time, those white landowners didn't trust anybody that wasn't a white landowner to vote the right person in. So what they did was they put in the Electoral College so that to make sure that whoever they wanted to get in got in.
Got in. Yep.
But that's my closing stuff. Thank you.
Okay. Now I want to reiterate that next week's conversation will be about the results of Tuesday, November 5th. Your thoughts and views, and also second topic will be about the no IDs. How you can still vote with no IDs, and you're not even a citizen. And could that possibly be the reason why 21 million illegal immigrants were let into the country? So that's something to think about. That will be next week's topic. And we also will be talking about where the hell is Cornel West? Where the hell is Cornel West? All right, closing argument, Mr. Blue. You got 1 minute, my winner.
Yeah, I'll just use my minute to just not address, but what Lord Michael said. You know, there's been 5 times in history that who won the popular vote didn't win the election, the Electoral College. Donald Trump in 2016, George Bush in 2000, Benjamin Hayes in 1888, Rutherford Hayes in 1876, and John Quincy Adams in 1824.
See, that's my dog. That's my dog right there. Spit that shit. Spit that shit. That's my dog. Go ahead.
So basically, what me personally, I went through my phase where I didn't feel my vote counted because the popular vote to me what mattered. But when my eyes became open, when I started to look at, all the, Midwest, all those places, because Hillary Clinton definitely, I think she won a popular vote, almost 4 million, but we can look at California where their population is 40 million. So those extra votes could have just been in there, but the Electoral College makes people play chess. What Hillary Clinton messed up was with the Electoral College, she didn't visit Michigan, my home state, one time because she thought it was in the bag. It was in the bag. She never visited. Trump visited Michigan, I think, 8 times. So when people see you on the ground, that's where they can gravitate. So I think that's what, all of those 5 situations has something happen. But, now that I know what I know, I want everybody to have a voice. That's why I empower, whether people vote for the president or not, I try to empower people to educate themselves and don't vote for who somebody else tells you to vote for. Vote for who your priority is, because my priorities may not be what Keanu Ray's priority is, or, Mr. James or Fitz or Lord Michael. We all have our different priorities. Some people it may be abortion. Some people it may be the border. Some people the economy. That's why I never told my son who to vote for. And because I said, son, just be informed, because I don't want to be controlling him. So that's I'll just close with that.
Okay. I want to say the reason why we're saying Lord Paul, Lord Michael is because my winner over here, Mr. Lord Michael Stevens Paul, has just been knighted by the nation of Great Britain for his achievements in the industry. So I got to give him his props. He is actually an official knight of Great Britain. Okay. Mr. Lord Paul, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, my winner. Let me get your closing arguments.
It's very interesting tonight. But yet everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Voice their opinions, debate it, delegate it, and keep it pushing from there and have love afterwards. But I did agree with you, Sam, in retrospect to electoral. And I actually said that Hillary Clinton had 3 million votes, but she lost it because of the electoral. So we were still there. But other than that, I'll say this, man. Vote who you're gonna vote for out there. Just remember why you voting, who you're voting for, and don't believe that your vote doesn't count, because at the end of the day, they may need the popular vote. Because I think Sam can even contest to this during his research, that there are times when they had to go by the popular vote through history. I remember reading that some time ago in political science class. So, my thing is, I'm not a political person. I believe in the Most High God.
Bingo.
I believe that whatever's going to happen is going to happen because he wants it to happen in the way he wants it to happen. I don't believe in anyone or anything that is out to oppress people, whether they black, white, Asian, wherever they're from. I believe we're all God's people and no one should be oppressed. And I believe that this administration that's running is looking to oppress people, become a monarchy, and it is what it is. So, although the only thing holding me back is this war with Israel from voting for Kamala Harris.
Oh, we're getting to that. We're getting to that after the election. We're getting to that. You came just in time, Lord Paul.
That's the only thing that was holding my vote, to be honest with y'all. But if I had to choose a lesser of two evils, I gotta go with that situation with Kamala Harris.
Okay. Now, with that being said, all right. I noticed that everyone on this panel except Blockbuster James, okay, have said, and I don't think I heard it from political activist Blue neither, but I definitely heard it from Lloyd Paul and Kiana, that God is in charge, okay? Now, this is my stance. This is my closing argument. This is my stance on that. God also said, let Caesar's things be Caesar's. God also said that his kingdom has nothing to do with this world. So I truly feel, and he also said keep politics and religion separate. So I really believe that in my spirituality, that God has nothing to do with this. There is a God that does, and that's the God of this universe, and that's Satan the devil. God permits stuff to happen. He doesn't have nothing to do with Kamala winning, or that's my opinion, based on my research and my studies of theocratic and theological school for 12 years, that he has nothing to do with none of that. He just permits it to happen. But with that being said, I love you, winners. I'll see y'all next week. We're going to discuss the topic of what the hell happened to Cornel West, and also the result from the election. I don't want y'all to get off. After we finish recording, I want y'all to stay on. We ain't going to talk about no more of this. We're just going to talk about the podcast. All right, Sawyer, see you.